Let's talk about women that knowingly, and I say knowingly because at the beginning you have a choice, knowingly get pregnant for men that do not even deserve to be fathers. Let's talk about it. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Dear Naija Girl podcast. Today I am going to be talking about sexual autonomy and having children for fuckboys. Someone has to say it. There is a huge pandemic. And it is time that women need to sit up. I'm going to be starting by sharing the experience that one of my community members shared with me. She said, I met someone last month who said me having an implant is a sign of promiscuity, that I must have gotten pregnant countless times. Now, if you don't know what an implant means, let me explain. So there are different preventive methods for not having children. It's the same way men use condom, and women normally get this IED, or sometimes they do family planning and the rest of that to prevent pregnancy. That's what an implant is. Now, she continues, it occurred to me that that's where the weird face I get every time I mention having an implant comes from. Now, I'm going to say this in my usual 1 cent. And I say 1 cent because women are one of the most stubborn creatures in the world, including me. We get coconut head. So I do not assume that anything I say is up to $1 with women. I say 1 cent. Because who know. If you know, you know. Those that would listen will listen. Now, in my usual 1 cent, I'm going to say this. If you're a Nigerian woman and you are sexually active and you can avoid pregnancy outside of wedlock, please, I use God to beg you. Please, in every means that you can, please do. Because even the people that have kids inside the wedlock, their eye are seeing shit. Now imagine what you outside the wedlock, your eye is going to see. Except maybe you're Makewa or Eniedo, you have the finances to back you up, you have the family structure to back you off. Then by all means, please go have kids. But please also look at these women and realize that they waited till they were ready to have children. Children is not a consolation prize. Children is not something you do because you're expected to do them. Children is not something that you have to hold on to a man. Children are not things that you have to show that your womb is working or that you can bear children. Whatever your reason is, you need to make sure that when you have kids, it is because you want to have kids and not because you're expected to have kids or you want to tie somebody down or you made a mistake. That's even the worst one. Now, always use preventive measures. I beg you, you either do implants or you use condom, which at least it will not affect you biologically. I'm not even a fan of IUDs because of the effect that they have on reproductive organs of women. Now, I'm telling you this because if you've watched my previous podcast episode, if you've also listened to previous podcast episode, you would see the episode I did with a single mother and you would hear her story. Single mothers don't have it easy in this Nigeria. In this part of the world, your eye will peel, as in you will see premium shakes. Go and ask anybody, even those that are single mothers to celebrities, their eyes are peeling. Now, here's one of the things that I talk about to women. I always say this, be selfish with your womb. Be selfish with your womb. The problem is that women do not understand that we have the power of life and death. And I'm not talking the Jesus kind of power, no. I am talking from the aspect of that women are the controllers of the world. But we've released our power so much that we don't even know who we are and we don't even know what we carry. The fact that you can bake an entire human being and bring that person out into the world and then mold that person into who they decide to become is a strange power. It is a strong power. It is not the power that you give to just anybody. It is not the power that you give to just any man. It is a power that you have to hold on to for as long as you can. Men do not bear the consequences of bad decision. A man can make a bad decision and he would survive it. Women do not survive bad decisions. Your bad decision will stick with you forever and ever. As in, I keep saying your eye will peel because that's the most dramatic way I can explain it. Women always bear the consequences of bad decision. It's even worse if you decide to make that bad decision with a man, because you will bear the consequences for the man and you will bear the consequences for yourself. You do not have the liberty of surviving bad decisions. So that is why I tell people to take this thing seriously. I remember when we were young and our parents were telling us, not to have sex. Honestly speaking, that time your hormones and puberty, your entire body is craving mad. So you don't even understand what they are telling you. But as you grow older, you realize that sex does nothing for you except for pleasure. And it is not a lot of Nigerian women can say that they get pleasure out of sex. We are always having sex to give men pleasure. No women, most women don't even ask them, so what am I getting out of this? The first time I talked to a friend about vibrators, my friend literally said that I can never make heaven. And I promise you, she wasn't joking. She was very serious about it because it was a huge sin for her, for a woman to decide to give herself pleasure. When you ask a woman, when was the last time you stood in front of the mirror and looked at yourself and actually touched your body parts? And I'm not talking about masturbation, please. Most women will look at you like you're ridiculous. But that is because we've been raised to be ashamed of pleasure. The thought of you knowing your body like that, the thought of you being intimate with your body like that is seen as you being a terrible person, someone that is morally bankrupt, because how dare you make heaven for trying to get to know the body that God gave you? So we do not understand pleasure. So a lot of women are not having sex for pleasure. They're having sex to give men pleasure, which means you're literally giving men your entire power and everything that you have with you. None deserved for yourself. On top of all that giving, because you're Mary Magdalene, on top of all that giving, you will still now go and carry belle and give him a part of yourself that you would never get. Isn't that ridiculous? Isn't that ridiculous? It's ridiculous. It's crazy. It sounds insane to me. You would voluntarily have kids for a man that is so bottom barrel that even the bottom of that barrel cannot be found. And then you will come outside and you want people to have mercy on. Let me tell you a story that a community member shared with us. I think I've posted it on my Instagram before. Now, this girl was a young girl of 16, I think, 15 at the time. And she was dating this guy. Now, this girl is not coming from a well-to-do family. She's coming from your average middle-class family. The family are trying their best to give this girl the world. Now, she has written WAEC. She's meant to write JAMB, and then she's meant to do IELTS because her parents want to send her abroad to go and continue her education. Now, I'm telling you about her family's financial background so that you can understand what sacrifices and how hard it was for her family to raise the money to make this happen. She writes the IELTS, she does excellently well, and she's poised, her ticket booked, everything is ready. And then 2 weeks to her trip, her parents find out that this girl is pregnant at 16 for a 17-year-old boy. Of course, when they are telling her that time, she'll be saying her parents don't want her to fall in love. Her parents hate her. You know how dramatic children can be. And then the 17-year-old boy denies the pregnancy. Of course, whose future do you want to scatter? He denies the pregnancy, even though his parents knew he was the one. Her parents knew he was the one. But what can you do? Absolutely nothing. The closest you can come to doing anything is when the girl has the child to do a DNA test. And even that one, he will still deny it. Because a man does not want what he does not want. It is only women that end up wanting what they don't want. Out of love, out of pity, out of giving. We are raised to give and give so much of ourselves that at the end of the day, we don't even have anything left for ourselves. Now, guess what? He denies the pregnancy because he's going to school. He's also going to university and he's fighting for his future. But he's going to a federal university. She was meant to go abroad. Now, her father gives her two options. You have two options. You either keep this pregnancy and I disown you and I wash my hands of everything that concerns taking care of you, or you abort this baby and you go to school. Her mother was, of course, also advising her, you need to let this baby go. But mothers, they will still be on the side of, but if you want to keep it, I will support you. Now, let me tell you something that is very unique about this girl's circumstances, because, the cards are stacked against her. But at the very least, if she was, fully health-wise okay, she might still have a chance. She could give birth to the child and give the child to her mother to take care of the child while she chases her future. But she's sickle cell. She's the sickler. So that made the whole thing even worse. But she chose to keep the baby. So her father does what her father said he would do. He washes his hands off the girl. He leaves his wife. He leaves the daughter. And he moves on with his life. Again, I'm going to repeat it. Men do not bear the consequences of bad decisions. Only women do. Now, there are two men in this situation and there are two women in this situation. The young boy that impregnated her, he has already gone to school. Wouldn't concern her. The father that's supposed to be the one to take care of her, he has moved on because now she has added an equation that he had no plans for, and he has no plans of staying in that equation. The only two people that are bearing the consequences of this bad decision is who? The two women. Now she's pregnant, she's carrying the child, she gives birth to the child. The mom is going to help take care of the child, right? Guess what? She gets into a car accident. A car hits her. Now, on a normal day, being a sickler is already hard enough. Being a sickler that has a child at a young age when that sickle cell is still doing all it can to kill you is one thing. Now, having an accident on top of it is another thing. So now she has 3 cards stacked against her. And from the accident, of course, one of her legs, I think she ended up limping or so, but she was never fully recovered. Now she's taking care of the child, she's taking care of herself, and the mom is also assisting. Then guess what? The mom gets sick. So sick that she can't take care of anybody. So now she has to take care of the mom. Education was out of the window. Her life out of the window. She has 2 people to take care of. So now she always has to find work, find how to help herself. And mind you, she still has to be treating herself because she's sickle cell. And the medications are not something you just get easy. So I'm just giving you an example so that you have an idea of what I'm talking about exactly. There are other people that might be privileged. I also have another community member that also went through the same thing. Her own was different because she was writing JAM and she was doing JAM lessons. So she has a classmate that she goes to her house and they go to the JAM lesson together. And then she started learning tailoring as well so that she can have something to do in university. One day, and she was also learning this tailoring because her friend does tailoring. So one day she goes to the friend's house to learn tailoring. The friend was not around and her brother was back from NYS. So her brother rapes her. Her friend's brother rapes her. She was 16. And then she got pregnant. Her entire family started humiliating her, started insulting her. She went through a lot. And then she had the child. And now she had to take care of the child. I think she's from a family of about 8 or 9 people, while also doing little works to make, upkeep. But she decided that this was not going to be her life. This was not going to be her story. Of course, the NYSC guy denied her. Typical. But in her own case, by the time her kid was in primary school, she decided to go back to school. She went back to school, got her BSc, went back and got her master's, got a good job, and she's doing excellently well. Her child just graduated from university, I think 5 months ago, the last time I spoke to her. And now all those people that insulted her and called her good for nothing and told her she would never amount to anything, she's the one taking care of them. Now you can see that her story still ended, in a good way. But at the same time, women, if you're not going to think for yourself, also think about the child that you're bringing into the world and what the consequences of your actions mean for that child. How is that child going to feel? Do you understand how it impacts a child's identity? The way they are brought into the world has an effect on their identity and their outlook in life. You can do all the best that you can, but there will still be a shortfall for that child. So I'm going to say it again. I need women to be a lot more selfish with their wombs. And we all know that our society has raised the genders to assume that women are the caretakers of children. So you can even still be in a 2-parent household and you're still a single mother because you're literally the one doing everything. Taking care of the child, bathing the child, fixing their medications, taking care of the family. You're doing every single thing, but you have a partner. It is hard for women out here. It is even much harder for mothers. Children are not a joke. They are not a consolation prize, and they are not something that you should use as a pawn. So please get that implant today. Get that protection today. Do not allow any crazy son of man to keep you tied to him forever. Do you know what it means that you had a child for somebody that you're not married to? Let's say you're in a relationship and you have a child for a man that you don't even know if you're going to spend forever with. And in most cases, that annoys me the most is that you even know that you will not be with that man because his head is not correct. But now you've tied your lineage to his. You have literally tied your lineage, your entire generation, you tied it to that guy forever just by having that child. I'm going to give an example. Very popular, Cardi B and Offset. Cardi B knew that this guy was as bottom barrel as they came. For my goodness sake, this guy was cheating throughout their relationship, throughout their marriage. And every time she tries to leave, he finds a way to get her back. And he not only gets her back, oh, that's what's annoying me. He will impregnate her. Now, after 3 kids, she decided that she has had enough. And this guy's statement was, I made you a baby mama. I won. And guess what? That is their mentality. That is literally how they think. Yes. And to be very honest, look at it. He won now because he has tied you to himself forever and ever. There is no way that you can tether that connection. You are connected to that deadbeat for the rest of your life. And you found a way to tie your generation to his for the rest of eternity. Everybody will always know you through him. Everybody will always know him through you. It is ridiculous. Is that what you want for yourself? And now, as if that is not enough, she got into a new relationship and now she's pregnant again. For God's sake, women, help yourself. Help yourself, help yourself. Let me give you an example of what it means to be in control of your body. And I'm saying this, and it doesn't mean that I am pro-abortion. I am not. But I am also not a fan of women having kids that they don't want to have. Because I know the adverse repercussions of it. So let me give you an example. There's this popular TikToker. She's been dating this guy for a while. And I don't know what happened. They broke up. And then this guy does a video. He does a video of himself dancing to an Offset song with the on-screen text being, I made you a baby mama, I won. The same thing that Offset told Cardi B. And guess what? The next day, the girl did another video of herself dancing to a song that says, basically, you did not win, basically. And she was in an abortion clinic. So, I know you think you made me a baby mama, but like, your baby is going down the drain, is what she said. And people were literally clapping for her, especially women. I mean, I was part of the women that were clapping for her. Because just imagine that she ended up having that kid for that crazy person. It is unfair to have kids for men that can't father. A man can be a good man and not be a father figure. He can be a terrible father. And a man can be a great father and still be a shitty partner. Two truths can coexist. But in this case, it is only one truth that can exist. Do not have kids for men that don't want kids. Do not have kids for men that you don't want to have kids with. Do not have kids for men that you know do not deserve to be fathers. Do not have kids for men until you're ready. Do not have kids for men out of wedlock. That one you go to suffer. So I'm going to stop here for today, but I hope that as sensitive as this conversation is, I hope that you guys understand the message that I'm trying to pass. You need to start taking control of your life. Women tend to allow life happen to them. The only time we don't allow life happen to us is when we are looking for a rich husband. We tend to allow life happen to us a lot, and you need to start taking control of your life. There is nobody coming to save you. The chances of any woman marrying a rich man is less than 1% because we have less than 1% of wealthy men. You need to start figuring out how you can be the wealthy man for yourself. And you also need to start figuring out how you can take charge of your decisions. Take control of your life. You are the bearer of your womb. You are the only one that gets to decide who impregnates you and who doesn't. So the earlier you start taking charge of your life, the better for you. Abortion puts you at a huge risk of losing your life. So your best bet is always to make sure that your preventive measures are up to par. There are herbal methods of prevention. There are modern methods of prevention. There is so much you can do to control who gets to have access to your womb. So I hope you guys have been able to pick a thing or two. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. I would really like to hear from you guys. All right. So I'm going to see you guys next episode. And of course, we're going to have another controversial conversation. But that's the next episode. So I'm still your girl, Tasha. And thank you for listening to the Dear Naija Girl podcast. Please click the subscribe button. And if you're listening to this on your podcast platforms, please make sure to download and please make sure to share. Bye.